Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Dior, and this is Labyrinth of Touhou 2. Alright, so I crafted a bunch of stuff, sold a bunch of stuff, and used all that money to kind of make our characters a little bit bulkier. So the key thing here was Vermilia getting mind and defense to 100. On Mei Ling, I was trying to get her up to 150 mind, but ran out. Mainly because Mei Ling has much higher defense than mind. Sakya, I didn't really do too much with her. Nothing with that. I upped Sune's mind as well. And then I upped Patcholi's mind as well. And then I adjusted level ups. I swapped attack for defense for Vermilia, and then I swapped whatever their offensive. I swapped Mei Ling's attack for mind, Patcholi's magic for mind, and Sune's HP for mind to maximize their defenses. So the way Flandre works, she has a single target attack that is physical that always attacks the far left. So that's why I went ahead and made Vermilia have all of her stuff into defense. Everything else, all of her AoEs are magic. And then once she gets down to about 75%, she does that composite attack that killed us before. And then around 40%, she does have an AoE that does physical. But if we can get her down to 25%, she'll concentrate and start doing Levitienne instead, which will probably kill us. So the way composite attacks work is it takes both defense and mind into account for the calculation. So if you have extremely high in one of the stats, that will help mitigate the damage still. So that's the idea. I don't know if it'll work, but I would like to try and see if we can pull it off. Because really the key thing is I can't really outspeed her that well, so I need to just make sure I have very tanky people in the front row. Also with the bonuses from Mei Ling, every turn buffing up everyone's defense, and then the Scarlet Devil Mansion buff, buffing up everyone's everything essentially, will be somewhat helpful. And I'm hoping to keep Sune out for a bit just to kind of buff people up as well. I did get enough points to go ahead and get Inspirational Plan. So now the buff decay rate has been reduced, which is really good, especially for characters that have Majesty. I did use a Tome of Mind on Patcholi to maximize her mind even further. I had a lot of points sitting around. I was originally going to save it up for her subclass because I believe that's coming up soon. But there's no point in sitting on points that I can use right now. Yuka's doing her thing, but right now I didn't spare any money for her, so she's still kind of just there for the time being. Besides that, I think that's everything. Alright, I was going to go ahead and buff your mind, just in case. There you go. Alright. I buffed up Discarder, and I think that's just about it. Nettery, I still don't really know what I'm going to do with her. The recommended subclass is unfortunately not one we can get anytime soon, which kind of sucks. But, yeah, we'll just stick with what we have for the time being. I mean, I could do ability to manipulate water. In fact, that's probably a good idea since I tend to use Waterfall pretty often. So I'll do that. Flandre, I believe, does have physical resistance, so it's usually not a good idea to spam her Super Scope. I may try it just to see what the damage numbers look like. Anyway, I don't think I have any new achievements. Nope. I have been devoting all my materials towards crafting and then just selling all the extra stuff. Alright, so we want floor 12. Alright. So in theory, Patcholi should be able to survive in the front row. So you want to do something like this for right now. And in the last phase, Flandre does become very vulnerable to paralysis. So we might be able to use Sakya's stuff for that. But we'll have to wait and see. Key thing here is mainly just trying to endure the hits and then try to blitz through the 40% mark before I get hit with the AoE. One thing I can also do is try tagging people into a blank slot That way only the tanks take damage. But it's that speed that's really kind of the catch-all that we have to deal with. Alright. Wow! That was a lot of damage. How'd you do that much? Well, I can't escape now, and I'm about to die. How'd she do that? Here, I'm just gonna see how this damage does. Okay, 44,000. Yeah, that was... Reset party and try again. 3180. Wow, how is that doing so much damage? Actually do this. We need Remilia to live, so originally I was going to have her defense be up, but I think what we need to do is switch her to mind as well, and just hope she can survive the hit. And then, yeah, if I can get the buffs up, I might be able to survive the starbow break. If not, then I'm gonna have to reassess. I might have to just come back later. I do want to get this done with so I can get Flandre up and running, because she'll be yet another glass cannon for us to play around with. Alright, let's try this again. Jeez, well, it reduced the damage, but man, that's so much. Alright, so what we can do is go all in. So what we can do here is we can change her equipment, because it doesn't matter if we don't live long enough. So yeah, a drum would help. I'm wondering if the attack missed, and that's why I never noticed surviving it before. I mean, main thing is I just need to live long enough to get the buff up. And then from there I can kind of just endure the hits. First aid kit as well. First kit, actually the first aid kit alone should actually keep her alive, but this will at least give her a bit more of a buffer as well. Trial and error. It's either that or I try to stack resistances for the element, that first element. Though it comes so quick, I actually don't see I don't see the element that's being used. He's not vulnerable to it. That much I do know. But yeah, this first turn is a bit rough. fact, let's swap in Sine. And then I can use her to buff everyone else. It does mean our first turn's gonna have reduced stats. Oh, well now you do something else. Great. Alright. Miracle Fruit. Oh wow, the status none of the status effects hit, even though I removed everything that actually gave me resistance. Alright, cool. Well, if that's the case, let's tag you guys in. Okay. You're being oddly friendly. Okay, I can survive the hit at least. Okay, Waterfall definitely probably does more. Okay, missed, so I can't tell how much I actually did. Okay, poison and paralysis, we need to fix that. Okay. We're staying alive, that much is certain. Alright, let's tag in Kamachi for a moment. Alright. So that happened. Back down. Okay. Let's do Lunar Clock. Okay. Sure, we can do that. Bring in Nidori. Yeah, the rest of you are gonna get hit regardless. Oh, it's my buffs. My buffs are good. Okay, roll divine. Oh, that wasn't a physical attack. That's my mistake. Alright, well the good news is if I can get her down to 25% right now, we may have a shot. Because otherwise we're gonna die. Or we just kill her. That's an option. There we go. Lillian's Panties, the Diva's Apron, Concept Everything, Blade's Igneous Rock, Protection Gem, and a Training Manual. Oh. I give... Geez, that was so hot. I thought I was gonna die. Ugh, that was so tiring. Flan, are you going to listen to me now? What? Like I said before, we shouldn't have left you out on our trip. I'm sorry. As a token of my apology, let's all have a picnic together from now onwards, okay? Eh? Really? Yes, and this time it won't be just Sakia and Mei Ling and myself. There's Reimu, Marissa, and a whole bunch of others we don't know who will be coming along as well. Ah, so that's how you're playing it. I don't mind bringing her along on the exploration. But if she goes on a rampage inside the village, there's going to be a lot to answer for. I already know, so how about it, Flan? Marissa, is it okay if I go with you? I won't be a bother or anything. There's a lot of folks amongst us who joined on their own accord anyways. At this point, one more is like a rounding error. And besides, your strength's the real deal. If anything, you coming along would make our life easier. Then I want to go. Bring me along, please. Come on, Flan. Stand up. Marissa, let's work hard on this picnic. Is a picnic something we need to work hard on? Flandre Scarlet has joined the party. Oh boy, that was rough. But we managed it. Lillian's panties. The panties of the 324 kilobyte death god. No human alive could win against that thing one-on-one, or so you would think, but apparently such people do actually exist. The world sure is big. Plus 2 MP, plus 2 stamina, plus 50% magic, plus 80% mind and speed, and then plus 20 to accuracy and evasion. Really, really good. Probably goes to you. Yeah, it's an upgrade for you. Yeah, Patchboy's damage was a bit lower since I took all of her stuff out of magic and put it into mind, but it did save us, I think. It's hard to tell because some of those attacks just flat out missed. And I couldn't really see exactly what was going on there. Alright, hey Romelia, you did good. Let's get you back to what you were before. You need Star of Just, Poison Resist Ring, and a Nitroglycerin. There we go. I was actually really surprised that that first buff didn't actually afflict her with everything. Because, yeah, her stats were not great. Against her resistances were not great at all. I don't think I changed anyone else's equipment. Off the top of my head, I don't think that was the case. So that was kind of crazy. Our first few attempts, she did that one AoE that would just kill her immediately. And the moment I got her stats high enough to actually endure it, she didn't bother. She just did single target attacks that all missed, apparently. Like, what was her evasion? Yeah, it was like around the 40s, I guess. Alright, well in any case, let's get back out of here. We need to fix all the level up bonuses. We don't need this much. We don't need this much bulkiness for what we're about to do anyway. We definitely defeated Flan ahead of time. She was what, level 65 boss, and the upcoming bosses we're about to go up against, I think, are in the low 50s still. So we're gonna be pretty well prepared, which I don't mind. It'll make going through the various puzzles that we're going through a bit easier. So yeah, I need to level up Flan. I'll deal with that in a second. Where are you? There you are. Yeah, so like I said, my original plan was to up her defense, because Starbow Break always targets the far left, and it's her strongest single target attack. But it looks like that was not needed. The line AoE was the biggest problem. The thing about line AoEs is it does less damage the further right to you of the row you are, so she's taking the full brunt of it on her when she's getting hit by it. And I'm guessing the other times that that we got hit by it in the previous videos was when she didn't open with it, so I had time to actually buff up and soak the hit. Alright, I think that's everybody. Yeah, Mei Ling's back to attack, Patchoul's back to magic, Sone's back to HP, and Romelia's back to attack. I think that's everybody. I don't think I did anything with Sakia. Alright, cool. So level up all characters. Get to go through this process again. So Flandre is a composite attacker, though her primary single target is attack-based. Her AoEs are composite, but you most likely will not use her AoEs because they have the added effect of draining the entire front row's ATB bar, which means essentially if you... Levitienne, for example, I think drains the entire ATB bar, which is a really bad position to be in. Pretty much gives your opponent a bunch of free turns. And so the only time you would ever use Levitienne or Miracle Fruit or whatever it's called, it is when you're guaranteed that you're going to be able to wipe the... essentially be able to sweep. Now her single target also has a side effect, but the side effect is that it hurts her. And it can never kill her, but it definitely hurt her. So she's generally not very good for sweeping unless you're guaranteed able to sweep with the composite AoEs. She does have oddly high HP, so you can make her somewhat spongy if you were to devote the resources for it. Personally, I have never bothered with that because Starbow Break just hurts her so much that it kind of just it's a losing battle. But it is something to take into account. Yeah, so decent stats. But yeah, we will be using her, but right now we don't actually have any money. To make it work. Also, one thing I noted, of course, was Flandre is vulnerable to Spirit, which, of course, Komachi can fill that role pretty nicely with her counterattacks and her special attack. Didn't get a chance to buff her, unfortunately. Alright, so that should be everything there. Oh, I didn't bring her in. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons, I apologize. Okay, so with this, we won't have any open slots. Well, sorry, we have 2 open slots, which means we have to have at least a front row of 2 people. Which isn't bad, it's just something to be aware of. Alright, so yeah. First of all, we of course get SDM residents. So yeah, out of all of the synergies, Scarlet Devil Mansion has the biggest party, I think. They have a party of 5. So you do have at least a front row and a person you can swap in and out. Of course, you're pretty much swapping in and out glass cannons, unfortunately. If the user takes damage from an elemental weakness, all stats increase. Yeah, she's not going to live through it, so that's not going to help her. If she defeats an enemy, she gets buffs and MP. That's nice. She can add shock to all of her attacks. Might as well. Upon the user's turn, all allies in the front row get a attack boost. Really helpful. And then we got Levitienne, as I mentioned before, AoE, Fire, 13 MP, Composite. It will consume MP from everyone in the front row, so on top of the 13 cost, you're draining everyone else's MP as well. And then it reduces the ATB bar, which is, yeah, it's rough. And then Forbidden Fruit, sorry, I was calling it Mystic Fruit or whatever. Forbidden Fruit is a oh, actually it's a pure magic, I didn't know that. So, Mystic targets all enemies. It will consume only 1 MP from the entire front row and then reduce their ATB bar. I think it does it by half. And then Starbow Break is Dark Element. I think it was Neutral Element in the previous game. Has not the best accuracy. Physical spell that hits a single enemy, ignores a small portion of the enemy's defense. Very powerful, but will deal damage to the user as well. This spell will not KO the user. So that's kind of the key thing there. So yeah, with that in mind, boop, boop, boop. Max out Starbow Break, and we'll start working on buffing up our attack for now. Gear-wise, well, as mentioned, we definitely want to get her accuracy up. We're going to swap you for tracking overtars, and you're going to take the Frozen Eyes for now. And then, for attacking, Get her a Sewer Blade. And some Vibro Cannons. Alright, cool. So we got that going for us. The other thing that sucks about Flandre is her stamina is abysmal. So something to be aware of. Alright. Good stuff. Do we have money? A little bit, but not a lot. Okay. Well, we're not going to be able to do too much. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and call this a video. And when we come back, we will continue our exploring of the Fire Forest and all that stuff. So I'm the Depressed Hero. This is Labyrinth of Touhou 2. I'll see you guys later.